Have you ever set a simple plan and wondered if it could really grow into something beautiful? This is the story of my first garden in retirement and the pickles that proved it could. Hi, my name is Marby and welcome to Frolics and Finds, where we turn garden moments into daily joy of, well, today, it's the pickled plan. In today's video and podcast, I'm sharing a cozy reflection from my first winter in retirement and a garden journey that followed. From planning a potager to harvesting cucumbers and making homemade pickles, this story is about tuning intention into reality, one jar at a time. If you love retirement gardening, slow living, or home preserving, you're in the right place. Grab your drink and let's dive in. I retired early at 52. Last winter was my first winter in retirement. While the world outside was cold and still, I began to think about all the things I had been wanting to do, if only I wasn't working. One of those things was to start my first retirement garden, a potager, a true kitchen garden where vegetables, fruits, herbs, and flowers could grow together. I knew it would take time to build beauty in abundance, but 2025 felt like the year to begin. In the quiet of my basement, my husband and I shared a store-bought jar of sweet and tangy bread and butter pickles and talked about what was ahead. Maybe pickling cucumbers? We imagined vines heavy with cucumbers, basketfuls waiting to be carried inside and turned into jars of homemade pickles lined neatly on my shelves from the garden that he built for me as a gift for Mother's Day. When spring came, I planted those hopes into the soil. The vines grew, blossomed open, and soon the first cucumber appeared. We left for a week to Destin for our after-school season family vacation. And when we returned, the vines were full and had given us more fruit. And so the harvest began. But the harvest wasn't quite the overflowing basket I had pictured in my mind in the winter. Instead, it was a handful here, a handful there, day by day. But those small harvests added up until I realized I had made 15 jars of pickles, sweet and tangy, classic dill, and even a few jars of fermented cucumber pickles, the healthy ones. I was elated. It was working. But as garden often reminds us, plants don't always unfold in perfect rows. My cucumber plants started dying for no reasons, or so I thought. I learned later a bacterial wilt swept through and cut my season short. I accepted defeat and took all my vines down. Still, it wasn't abundance in numbers. It was abundance in meaning and in learning. Each jar was proof of something more important, that a winter plan, an intention had taken root, grown, and became real. It was the start of my potager, a place where beauty and abundance can grow together. I had to remind myself. Even when nature had other plans, I could still taste the sweetness of my effort captured and preserved on the shelf. Because sometimes fulfillment doesn't come in overflowing basket. Sometimes it shows up in jars lined up neatly, each one reminding me that intentions can grow, maybe not perfectly, but beautifully enough. And this winter, in the basement with my husband, we'll open those jars of homemade pickles in a garden to table fashion. We'll taste the journey from seed to soil, from vine to harvest, and from harvest to jar to table. Or maybe from jars to fingers. Even in the cold of winter, we will taste summer harvest once again. And as we enjoy them, we'll start planning again, maybe for beans this time, or maybe just more cucumbers for pickling. Thank you, my friends, for joining me for the Pickled plan, how my first retirement garden came to life. I hope this cozy garden stories inspires you to nurture your own garden intentions, whether it's a first potager like mine, home preserving, or simply enjoying the small joys of gardening. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to Frolics and Finds, and hit the bell so you won't miss future stories about slow living, garden moments, and cozy home projects. I'd love to hear about your own garden dreams. Share them in the comments below, and let's inspire others to grow something beautiful this season. Enjoy the rest of this video. And to those tuning in the podcast, thank you again for being here. Stay safe.